It's hard to share a country, Bob, with another party, network, whatever you want to call it, that just they are looking for anything that's bad for Biden or bad for America, frankly, before the midterms, so that, it's to their political benefit. And that's what, I mean, it was just these stories. On Fox News, Jesse Waters suggested the Russian invasion of Ukraine might have been engineered by Biden as a distraction in a conversation with, he had a military expert on, the computer repair shop owner that turned Biden's laptop over.
Right.
So he got, at least a really good military expert on, international affairs expert. He said, seeing all the news about Ukraine, knowing the laptop and all the things you've seen and heard about over the last couple of years, what are your thoughts on the current situation? Oh, my God, Bob. He said, it's hard to tell, said Isaac, he's the computer repair guy. I mean, last time Ukraine was in this or close to this, Joe Biden was in charge. He was vice president.
Right.
Okay. Last time, Hunter Biden profited greatly off his dad's involvement in Ukraine. What? I think this time Joe needs a distraction more than he needs money. Waters said, well, do you think this was engineered as a distraction? He said, well, I'd hate to think the Ukrainian people would have to suffer the way they're suffering because Joe Biden needed a distraction. Make up your mind. Is he an evil genius who engineered a distraction, or is he a doddering old man? I mean, it's...
Yeah. It's like the great line from The West Wing. It's like, who are his advisors? A beanie baby and a sock puppet? Is that Fox News is going to have those guys on next? Talk about what we should be doing in Ukraine. It's absolutely absurd. Do not listen to the Republic. I mean, I don't need to say this to this particular listening audience, but good Lord, if you know any Republicans and they're starting to lean toward the Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy concept here, the Jesse Waters strategy for Ukraine, ignore. They're out of their mind. I mean, Joe Biden's response has manifested a global response to this, an unprecedented. We've never seen a response to a military incursion like we are right now.
And we've sent a ton of military aid and weapons. I mean,
Right,
but Tucker Carlson last night was sneering at people with the Ukrainian flag in their Twitter profile or whatever. He said Russia's invasion of Ukraine is a highly complicated foreign crisis, and having Ukraine flag on his Twitter profile is a partisan position. No, it's not. No. It's people that are against genocide. I mean, it's like, what do you mean it's highly complicated? No, it's not. This is our generation's Hitler just went into Poland. Do you think that's right? I mean,
That's right. Yeah. And I remember back in the early 2000s where the Republicans invented all kinds of partisan iconography to go along with their invasion of Iraq. We had the American flag pins that are now a staple in American politics. I mean, it was just everything that they're saying right now is contradicted by something else they said 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago or 15 years ago. It's just whatever they need to get out of the moment is what they say.
You made a great point about Fox News. You retweeted Jordan, who said, Fox News is upset new polls today show a majority of Democrats and young people would seek refuge elsewhere rather than stay and fight like young people did in the movie Red Dawn. Patrick Swayze is rolling over in his grave. One of them said, and you're like, this is dumb. Patrick Swayze was an actor who only pretended to fight Russians in a movie. It wasn't real. Next, Fox News will poll young people about whether they've tried to blow into their thumbs, forcing their heads to inflate like Bugs Bunny.
Just
I'm like, but I've said about Red Dawn, they'd be on the invaders' side now, right?
Yes.
If we redid Red Dawn, Fox News and the right wing would. Okay, I can't.
Yeah. Well, the next talking point is, why doesn't Joe Biden use the force to attack Ukraine? It's like, he's going to get away with it because it's mysterious,
And by the way,
lift some rocks and throw them at the Russian army.
These aren't the Ukrainians you're looking for.
You retweeted Stephanie Rule, who said oil is now less than $100 a barrel. What's going on at the pump? And you said perhaps a few reporters with access should look into that. No, let's just figure out how to blame Biden now, right? It's like, okay, why? Okay.
Right. Right. I love hearing from reporters where they're asking random questions of the void on Twitter. Yeah. Please tell us, what are the answers to this? You have a Rolodex. Go out. You have shoes. Start knocking on doors. Make some phone calls. Find these things out. And by the way, I've got a list of about 100 other things I'd like to have answers for, which you guys have not looked into yet. But please, if you want to start with something, start with the price gouging at the pump, for God's sake.
Somebody said yesterday,
this concern trolling.
When Nellie says it's hot out here, it's not a reporter's job to take off all their clothes. It's your job to find out, to look outside and see if it's true that it's hot.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, God.
You also retweeted, I turned on ABC Political Show with George Will, a few other GOPs. They blame Biden, did not mention the real reason prices are high at the pump. ABC News Channel ran that show all day on demand. You said too often cable news and the Sunday shows reflect the knee-jerk whims of the people rather than the reality of the thing. Right?
Yeah,
It's just.
I mean, we've seen it for at least 20 years now. As long as I've been following politics as a grown-up, we've seen this where the Sunday shows, they look at the poll numbers, and that's the starting point. It's never, and what they do is they say, well, the American people, think we should use the force to attack Ukraine or whatever the nonsense is from the poll. We should go in there like the Wolverines from Red Dawn. But that doesn't reflect the reality of the situation, and the press needs to reflect the reality. They need to say, no, the American people are wrong about that. You don't want to go in there and do, a Chippendales dance off with Patrick Swayze to win this war.
Wow. So many pop culture references. Oh, my God.
That's why we love Bob Cesca.
Yeah.
It's all packed into one.